Well, since I'm officially live now, I'm kind of picking my bottom of my heel because it itches. But probably should stop. Put my foot down. I guess I figured I'd do a live stream because I had been plotting on how I was going to get the information out there, and I figured the text message to Candy to try to clarify her statement of the desert in the woods would trying to put it to rest on her end, but obviously my message didn't get what probably didn't get got sent, obviously, but she hasn't talked about it yet, and it's surprising. But I mean, I guess just start on it. And it's something I had thought about because I always think about things when it comes to the 410 treadmill. And so I'm going to pull the cover out because I have another toilet just to cover, so it doesn't get what we have. So let's see if I can turn around. As we all know, Forrest Finn was a tour guide for a fly fishing tour guide for Don Martinez. And I guess maybe he visited Don Martinez with his family on the way to Yellowstone, I guess, at a place in Cody, where Don Martinez's old one-room tackle shop used to be, and Rich is new and old, where he keeps secrets, where he keeps secrets and Rich is new and old, you know what I mean? So now piggybacking on Kennedy's comment, like I said, I had been thinking about how the woods could connect with the desert. And if you look closely, Forrest Finn gives you that clue clearly. Right here. Where warm water's halt. And look what's there, sand. What's usually in the desert? Sand. And then obviously you see the background right there of the woods. It's the lodgepole pines as a fence that they probably cut down from Finn's little thing for summer logging he did with Al Jones and was it Don Hopkins? No, was it Don? No, Don Peterson. Yeah, Don Peterson and Al Jones for the Forest Service. And that's probably what he cut those down and used them for the log cabins and also used them for the fence for that area. And I mean, just thinking about it, it makes sense. And obviously, when Don Martinez sold it to Pat Barnes obviously didn't want it, so he just let it be. And I guess maybe possibly even sold it to to the people that now own Hoodoo Land Holdings, and it's now the Hoodoo Land Holdings office. That's my best guess. And it kind of makes sense, because there's woods in there too. There's woods there too. If you go all the way to where the chest was hidden, and obviously, I'm gonna also, since I forgot to release the video for Clue 1 and 2. You got warm water salt here with the pipe. Right, my finger is above it, and you got the canyon. So right there in the background is a canyon right there, and it kind of has a little ditch. And if you go back to the next page, you'll see it has that type of feature. And obviously there's a pond there, and I guess the pond leads to where the chest is hidden. You have to get up. You got to go upward though. So you get down, and you got to go all the way to where the home ground is, which is the old woman chapel shop, where Elvis and Beowulf are residing at. And the chest is. So that's all I got for now. I guess I was gonna add to Lewis and Clark expedition that Forrest and Donnie and Joe went into. It's the two horses, and then he always Forrest always talked in his Yellowstone interview about the Boone Crockett Club and how he someone made him a coon hat, and he obviously wore it on the Lewis and Clark expedition. And obviously, the one subtle hint is in the Lewis and Clark chapter, especially Lewis and Clark's chapter, when it talks about the stinking waters, or no, it was a stinking river, or whatever it was called. I forget, but you know what I'm talking about once you're about to read it. And obviously, Shoshone River, its nickname that the Indians gave it was Stinking Waters. And Stinking Creek, that's what it was, Stinking Creek. And obviously, the Shoshone River is irrigated into the pipe somehow, in some way, I don't know, but obviously it was done by Don Martinez, I'm guessing, and his crew. So there you have it. And obviously, as we all know, if you also go back to My War for Me, he talks about if he made it home from the Vietnam War, that his promise was that he would make it back to the special spot with the waterfall. Remember that? That's why all three of these pictures are on the cover. And if you really think about it, you always have to think about it like this. And this is why when I thought about it, I said, holy shit. And it kind of sparked a little connection. Most of the time on the cover is usually what the main theme of the book is about. But somehow, like you said, you have to connect the dots. And when you connect the dots, that's exactly what you get. But nobody connected the dots because they didn't realize what the main theme of the book was. They were just so focused and on where the treasure chest was and finding the treasure chest and its gold context. If you would stop and realize that all three of those connected in some shape and form, boom, it would have clicked. Boom, 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 boom. And then go back and read the book as it was intended. Not just, it's about the treasure hunt. No, it was about his life and how his life connected to the special spot. We have family and Olga and Joseph, Sesame Escobar, Don Martinez, Al Jones, Don Peterson, Don Hopkins, like all those people are connected to the special spot in some way and in some shape or form. And no one really connected all those lines and made it click. And that's what kind of, when I would tell you all that I was serious, that I put my War in New Mexico Solve aside because I wanted to process the whole thing and read it as a memoir like it was intended to be as, genre-wise, instead of a treasure hunt book. And my first thought when I was reading it was maybe it was, when I first started the chase, maybe it has something to connection type, for solve for like, what was that treasure hunt? It was the masquerade. How you had to look at the pictures. It kind of makes sense. You just use the pictures, and the pictures match up to a spot. And that was kind of the whole gist that Forrest wanted to create. But obviously there was no code intended and to Thrill the Chase that Masquerade had. You know what I mean? So Thrill the Chase was more so kind of similar to Masquerade. We had to read the book and connect the dots via the pictures and make a place fit for it. That was kind of what Forrest's theme was, if you really think about it. And nobody really made the dots click, and it was just kind of wow, But I always had the Forrest Finn young picture when he was young picture always in the back of my head. But I always tried to find out where this damn picture freaking was taken at. And I knew it somehow connected some shape or form. I just didn't know how all three connected. So without further ado, there you kind of have to really think about it, So, it all makes sense. Obviously, I guess Forrest Finn obviously would take people in Yellowstone. And at the time he was tying flies, being tour guide, he'd go out back in the backyard of the tackle shop and sit in a special area in the backyard of the tackle shop underneath that tree that was probably caught on fire from the terrible, terrible, terrible Yellowstone fire. That's famously known. Hence why he said the treasure chest may be wet because the forest fire, which was a blaze. The blaze was a burned pinyon pine that was next to the nook, as everyone calls it. And if you go back and there was that one picture where it's where Forrest Fenn is eating that capered pie that he made his grandmother, and Frosty is yelling at him, at the young Finn, eating the pie. And if you look at that tree that he's sitting against, to the, I'm gonna say to the left of the tree, you'll see like the little, looks like exactly like the nook, or what it used to be like before it got damaged, is my guess. But that's not what the double blaze was. The double blaze was probably two burnt trees that probably aspens or something like that. Maybe that's my guess. I'm not too sure, but you never know. But that would still be my guess. Two burnt trees that were aspens. Because when we go back to the older story, it mentioned ponderosa pines and the aspen groves. And we all know the story with Olga, and nobody really connected the dots with it. The Forest Fern ended up wanting her to be where her father was, and a place that was special to him. Him as in her father. So her father owned that tackle shop, is my guess. And obviously we know her father was Joseph Sesame Sparota. So if you go back, and I mentioned it while I go back ago in someone's Facebook group, forget whose, but pretty much like Don Martinez's middle initial is S. And it's kind of funny. You can't really figure out. It has the S is nowhere to be found for what that middle initial is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, the middle initial is obviously S, but like the full name of the middle name can't be found anywhere. So it's kind of weird, isn't it? Don't you think? So it's got to be S. Svoboda. But Finn didn't want that information to be disposed of, or you know what I'm saying? So anyone can find it, because he wanted to try to trust him in close to him as possible, and wanted to like kind of wanted someone to work for us. You know what I mean? So just giving it away to them just for free and that was it. Get your church, just have it. Go fight for us like shit. He didn't want that. He wanted he wanted someone to go work, to actually work hard for it, connect the dots. And he always said if you connect the dots and you have the right spot and you find the chest, you can have it. He just didn't want something. He didn't want to give away the chest spot and just someone runs to it. And like, oh shit. So there you kind of have it, and it's kind of crazy, so that's all I got. I gotta start cleaning my room because, Mom wants my room to be cleaned, as it always, my room should always be cleaned, but y'all stay cool, stay classy. I'm out, and as always,